but they just don't know.
What I told you, Cutter.
People seen it, but they just don't know. People seen it, but they just don't know.
Huh?
People,
Let's go.
people seen it, but they just don't know. People seen it, but they.
What's going on? What's going on? Boy, I got it. And we got no sports once again in the building. You know what I'm saying? I want to thank God for this opportunity to be able to come on here live and, you know what I'm saying, and do what we do. You know what I'm saying? I got my right hand man, you know what I'm saying, Mr. Cowboys himself. You know what I'm saying? Your baby mama's favorite host. You know what I'm saying? Barry White Jr. You know, Jacob the Great. What's going on, fam?
What's up, man? Just Monday morning, motivational Mondays, man. Glad to be on this side of the dirt. You know, we get a chance and a choice another day to get it all the way right. You know, thank God for all his many blessings, man. And we're here at the 901 Sports Podcasting Network.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So, man, of course, man, we know what we're gonna get into. We're gonna go ahead and get into that Super Bowl last night. Um, you know,
Mm.
basically, well, I'll let you answer. I want you to throw out the first question of what you want to say about it. What your question is about it. Towards the game.
Is Kyle Shanahan a coach who is cursed from winning the Super Bowl, or does he not have the mindset to rise to the occasion? Because let's not forget, man, he blew a 28-3 lead against Tom Brady when he was in Atlanta. You know, he lost a Super Bowl with, if I'm not mistaken, with Jimmy G as well.
Mm-hmm.
And the narrative around Jimmy G, he ain't that guy, but he wins.
Mm-hmm.
Like he's like y'all only had old boy for 2 years. Jimmy G constantly got y'all to the NFC Championship and to the Super Bowl. So you know what I mean. So he wins, and what is the stigma about Kyle Shanahan? But when you play against, as you say, my homeboy, you can't let up. When you got your foot, if you got a 3-point lead up on the Chiefs and my homeboys in the building, then you got to keep your foot on their neck. So I just know that we always know how he found a way to win. So was it a pretty good Super Bowl? It was. I kind of got bored with the first half, but the second half was way more exciting than the first half, and so the next question is: will the commentators, the sports experts, the past players, the fans, are we going to hold Patrick Mahomes as the greatest that we ever seen when it's all said and done?
Well, first about Mike Shanahan, Kyle Shanahan. You know, something I've seen last night that I've never seen before. Which, well, I don't know if you've seen it, but it's something that they did that happened in the game last night that I've never seen before. When Steve Wilkes called a zero coverage defense in the fourth quarter, and I would think it was the late fourth quarter, and they said that Kyle Shanahan called a timeout because he didn't like that. He didn't like that formation. He didn't want that particular defense called. And I'm like, does that normally happen? Because you never hear like the head coach, like, especially if he's offensive minded head coach and he has a defensive coordinator, or if he's a defensive head coach and have an offense coordinator calling a timeout himself because of that particular reason. But because of that, because he didn't like what he's seen. A lot of times you might see a coach call it if he don't like to play on, like, offensive play. But when they said that he called the defense, he called a timeout because he didn't like the formation that Steve Wilkes called. I'm like, ain't that something I kind of already should have known or discussed or whatever before they got to that point where y'all had to blow a waste of time out because you didn't like what he just called? I'm like, I don't like that. So or is that something that you don't get that? So that means, are you not giving him full autonomy or whatever? Because I was kind of like Dan Orlovsky this morning, or And some of the guys this morning, Swagoo and them, I think, was talking, and they said they felt sorry for Steve Wilkes because no matter what he called, what I'm saying, he couldn't stop Mahomes. It was like once the train got going, because the thing about it in the first half of that game, the 49ers had that game. They had Kansas City dead to rights. They just couldn't capitalize. And to me, I felt like they didn't run the ball enough. So that to me, it was on Shanahan because it was just like the Super Bowl when they was in the Super Bowl against the Atlanta Falcons. They stopped running the Super Bowl ball in the second half. So to me, it's almost like Kyle Shanahan is always trying to prove how smart he is. And my thing is Christian McCaffrey obviously was getting 6-7 yards a chunk every time he ran the ball. And for whatever reason, you start running the ball and want to kept and was started trying to throw the ball off a lot. You somewhat have I look at Brock Purdy in a better light than a lot of people do, but he is still limited to a certain degree. And at the end of the day, you should have leaned more on Christian McCaffrey. You should have got the ball more to Deebo Samuels. You should have done even if it was bubble screens, if it was something run out the backfield. He wasn't being to me. They were talking about how creative Kyle Shanahan is. The only creative play I really seen was the one when Jennings threw the flea flick or whatever, or the pass, and then Jennings threw the ball back to Christian McCaffrey to get the touchdown. That was the only creative thing I really seen, or something I would say, that was different or whatever. But that's only like genius. Like I don't even call it genius. You see them type of plays all the time, especially in college. So it wasn't that big of a deal to me. But I felt like to a certain degree, like he tries to outsmart his own self. Like he's one of the people think he's the smartest person in the room, and that comes time to bite him in the butt. And when it comes to Patrick Mahomes, I just feel like he's the greatest quarterback I've ever played a game. He, as far as his intelligence of knowing the moment, he understands the moment. Like when they starting to put him on that thing of saying he's the modern day. This is like the modern day of Michael Jordan's era of saying basically nobody in his era can beat him. And to me, he just feel like he's just smarter and more equipped for these moments than any quarterback doing this era. You know what I'm saying? Whether you think he's the best you've ever seen or not, nobody in this era is, or he has all the talent, but he doesn't show up. Josh Allen is too reckless. Joe Burrow can't stay. He can't. He get more injured more than AD. You know what I'm saying? He got all the talent, but he get injured a lot. So it's like today, you know what I'm saying? Like to me, he's just and I told you, I've been telling you this for years. Like what I see with Patrick Mahomes, he can make every throw. He does stuff that almost every game that you be like, wow. It's like he just always have those moments. So to me, I feel like he can easily get 2 at least more championships, maybe 3. If his health holds up and all of that, I think Andy Reid would have retired this year if they would have lost. But the fact they want to try to three-peat because nobody's three-peated since I don't think a team has ever three-peated since like 70s or something or whatever. What did the Steelers three-peat in the 70s?
No, I don't think so. But I know ain't nobody won back to back since the Cowboys.
That's what I'm saying. So I don't think the Patriots won back to back.
Yeah, the Patriots did win back. That's right. That's right, Brady. So, but before that, ain't nobody did it before since the Cowboys. You know.
Yeah.
So, but hey, man, I just think Mahomes sees the game different. I think he visualizes it. I think that he probably studied way more than the average quarterback. Okay, so this is what I'm gonna say about Mahomes. He don't talk about his dad a lot, but from what I understand, his dad was a tough dude growing up. You know, when you playing sports, because he said during the press conference that baseball was his favorite sport. He said, but he was so great at baseball as a pitcher, his dad convinced him to play football too. And he said football took a life of his own. You know, it's just like Bubba Chuck AI. He said football was his favorite sport, but he's an NBA Hall of Famer. So, you know,
little stuff. It's funny you say that because I be paying attention to little stuff. 'Cause every time Patrick Mahomes slide, you could tell he played baseball because
Yeah,
he got a perfect slide for a football player. Like I think out of all the quarterbacks that slide, he does the best. You know what I'm saying? And I noticed that last night.
yeah, and then having the daddy that was a Golden Glove. You know what I mean? That says a lot. So he's been groomed like Kobe was groomed. You know what I
Mm,
mean? Like you can really tell how they understand. Like to be a football player and be athletic is one thing, but to have intelligence of the game.
mm-hmm.
Patrick Mahomes got intelligence of the game. That's what make players like MJ and LeBron and Kobe and Magic Johnson and players like that so great, man, because they had intelligence of the game. That's what made Ray Lewis so great, intelligence of the game. Emmitt Smith, Barry Sanders, people like John Riggins back in the day.
Mm.
He intelligence of the game, and like Art Monk and Gary Clark. Um, Mark Clay, Mark Duper, intelligence of the game. So his intellectual level at the quarterback position is crazy. He know when to run, he know when to pass, he know when to throw a slant pass, a dump pass, a long ball. Like the moments that he take, man, it always benefits the team as a whole. And so I just think he's so smart, man, and you can tell he studied like you you would think that people would have studied Brady more as quarterbacks. You
Mm.
can't sit there and tell me if you take Patrick Mahomes' legs away and you watch him pocket pass, he visualized the field just like Tom Brady.
Yeah, and you know what's crazy about uh, Patrick Mahomes is he's not like the fastest running back like a Josh. He's not big fast like like a Josh Allen or a Lamar Jackson or certain running type quarterbacks. But the crazy part about it is, like you said, he always knows the right play at the when they had that fourth one. A lot of quarterbacks in his situation would have tried to show they could be great by throwing a little pass, or they would have maybe run the ball, which they really wasn't running the ball that great throughout the game. They would have tried to run it, and for him to be like, you know what, I'm gonna get into almost like a triple option set and run it myself. And then that one play when they basically called a running play for him, and they don't never do that. So it's like between him and Andy Reid, they always know the right call to call at the very right moment. Like, oh, they ain't expecting this at all. You know what I'm saying? And he got like 20, 25 yards on that one run when they called his number. You know what I'm saying? That was like maybe like two plays after he got the little 1 yard run. And they was probably like, shoot, if we come back and run this right back and actually want to run it, like, or whatever, they not going to be ready for it. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's another thing between him and Andy Reid. They like that Phil Jackson, Jordan, Phil Jackson, Kobe, like they in that moment, you know what I'm saying? Like that Pat Riley with Magic. They kind of like that yin and that yang, but they understand each other and understand what to do in moments. You know what I'm saying, in those crucial moments of games.
Right, right. And I told somebody that I said Shanahan is not gonna outcoach Andy Reid. You ain't gonna believe it. They said, so what makes Andy Reid different from when he had Donald McNabb and T.O.? I said it ain't no different, man. I'm gonna just tell you that the NFC East at that time was much tougher. You know what I mean? He the same coach because if you look, man, like for 7 out of 10 seasons, they won the NFC East and was in the NFC East championship. You know what I mean? And they went to a Super Bowl even though they lost the Super Bowl. But Andy Reid has always been that guy, man. If you look at all the coaches that he coached with out there in Green Bay, all of them have went somewhere and did a fantastic went somewhere else, did a fantastic job. So Andy Reid understands the game a little bit more than other coaches, I think, man. I think he even he been coaching for almost 30, 40 years, man. He really studies the game, because he was the quarterback coach for Steve Young at Brigham Young University,
Mm-hmm.
BYU. You know what I mean? And so we talking about Steve Young been retired what almost 20 years, man.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
so we talking about Andy Reid was his coach,
Yeah.
like in college.
Now,
So
so let me ask you a question then. Let me ask you this question. So in saying that, does do you think that what because last night was the first time they was up under that new rule, as far as the overtime rule, where both teams get the ball automatically, and I didn't even know that was the new rule like until they introduced it. As far as like both teams, no matter if you score a touchdown or not, um, um, both teams get an opportunity to get a possession. So in your mind, now hearing that, and I heard that and thinking about it, would you have more or less like wanted to get the if you was the 49, would you have like Kansas City get the ball first and then so you could be like, okay, now we know what we need to do. So if we do score a touchdown, then we gonna probably end up going because Kansas City said if San Francisco would have scored, the Andy Reid said they had talked about it throughout the season. They knew what the rules was. He said they mindset they already knew they were gonna go for two. If it would have been the opposite situation where if 49ers would have scored and they would have got the ball and would have scored, they would have gone for two. They weren't gonna go to no because people didn't realize, and they were talking about this morning. I don't think a lot of people realized it was literally a whole nother game. So that's why it was 15-minute quarters. So to be honest with you, Kansas City didn't even have to run a play right there. I don't know if they didn't realize it or not, but they didn't even have to run a play because automatically it was going. It was like that was the first quarter of the game. So automatically it was going to be. It's like overtime in basketball. Just because the first 5 minutes run out or whatever, then you do tip up. So I guess it would have been. It was like a whole nother game. So basically that 15 minutes would have ran out. They would have just probably changed sides of the field, but they still would have had the ball if that last 15 seconds would have ran out of the game. I mean, out of that quarter. So to me, I don't know. If I was Kansas City, if they would have won the flip, only reason why I probably would have put my offense out there first is because that defense was gassed and that defense needed a break. You know what I'm saying? So,
what happens me, man. I don't care what team it is. I don't never want Kansas City to get the ball first. Ever. Never.
yeah.
Like I told you this morning, man, when I seen Junior Adelman and retweet that, man, don't bet against Mahomes. And I seen Brady retweet it, Ben Roethlisberger retweeted.
Mm-hmm.
I seen some of the older quarterbacks retweet. I was like, man, listen, man, these people know that these professionals that played the game for a lengthy amount of time,
Mm-hmm.
they know that Patrick Mahomes see the game different. You know what I mean? You know, they know he studied the game. And I heard Steve Young, man, when he was on the countdown yesterday morning. Excuse me, he was like, man, listen, you got to take Patrick Mahomes out the game.
Mm-hmm.
Completely out. Completely out. I ain't saying hurt him or nothing, but you got the kid on him. You got to have them spies on him. You
Mm-hmm.
can't give him. You can't even give him 2 or 3 seconds in the pocket at all.
Yeah.
You know what
Yeah.
I mean? And then people forgot about. Nah, he ain't fast as Lamar Jackson, man. But the way he uses his legs matters. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I mean? But he ain't as slow as people think either. You know what I mean? Cause it was 3 different plays, man. Well, one was 17 yards, the other one was 22 yards, the other one was 26 yards. We talking about scrambling plays
Mm-hmm.
that 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 really gave them a different momentum. And if I had to give somebody an MVP of that game, it's definitely got to be Chris Jones. Definitely, he was an animal, man. He was an animal, man.
Yeah.
Like we was talking about how much money he wanted. Did he live up to it? He most definitely did. He most definitely did, man. Cause
Uh,
I think he's the hardest soul of that defense, man. Because it looked like he was cursing them boys out yesterday on the sideline, man.
to me, I'm gonna say, of course, Mahomes earned his. I would say defensively, if we want to say offensive MVP or defensive MVP, do it like that. To me, I would give it to McDuffie. McDuffie between McDuffie and Snead because the McDuffie and Snead made key plays throughout that game when, as far as kind of containing and Debo Samuels and Kittles and all. So it got to the point where them guys they literally had to go to Jennings and they had to go to other like third and fifth options because those two guys between Snead and McDuffie pretty much was shutting down the main receivers.
That's true, but the way Chris Jones was throwing them offensive linemen around like they was paper plates, I was like, this is unreal, man. This is unreal, man. I was like, man, what? I
Yeah.
was like, but man, you said all season, man, that the Kansas City Chiefs defense was the least talked about defense in the league, but they was the most active defense.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? That defense really ministered a lot of games, so really took a lot of pressure off Patrick Mahomes, man. You know what I mean?
That's scary too. That's scary too, bro. Think about it. You got the best quarterback in the game. Their defense is pretty much now. I don't happen to Chris Jones because last year that I think he was only like a 1 year deal for like 30 something million. So I think basically he might be gone. That's the crazy part, and he showed that he earned his bread. So I'm hoping he'll give him a new contract because he can come on to Washington. But that joker is
Man, is no way that the GM of Kansas City is letting Chris Jones go nowhere, bro.
if he
I just
does
don't believe.
crazy.
I just don't believe that, man. It's no way. It's just like, man. It's like Washington. While you speaking on them, it's gonna be a lot of players to sign with them in the offseason, bro. A lot of players, man. A lot of players, boy. You know what I mean? Um,
Because I was
you know
going to
what?
Washington anyway, because I did want to talk about some of the moves anyway. So we can go ahead and transition to that. Because I want to
Okay.
talk about moves and all that. What you think? But go ahead.
I just think, and it's been said that one of y'all running backs, and is that other receiver you got named Dotson? That's his name,
Yes.
Dotson, and the tight end that's really good, but he seemed to have some injuries sometimes that play for y'all. He's really good when he's healthy though.
Yeah, you
What's
talking
his
about
name?
long time.
Yeah. So the trade proposal is if Chicago drafts Caleb Williams and Caleb Williams don't want to be there, it's fine. But Washington could propose a trade for those three guys I named for Caleb Williams. Do I think that's a good trade? I don't know.
So you said Dot, the tight end Logan Thomas, and what else?
And Gibson.
And Gibson. Okay, and then I'm pretty sure they have to throw an extra pick in there maybe somewhere. Probably well, for of course they swapping picks, and they may probably have to throw in a first next year. Well, you said for
No,
just
no. If they get out, they ain't gonna be no first.
oh,
It's
because
gonna be
Fields.
it's gonna be a second, anywhere from second to fourth round pick.
Oh,
It won't be a first pick.
Justin Fields.
What you say?
You said this would be for Justin Fields.
No, 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 no. This would be if they draft Caleb and y'all make a trade proposal and y'all would get Caleb, but those three players would go to Chicago.
Okay, so we would just so more than likely, I guess we would probably flip flop that first and second pick or whatever. They take our second pick, we get their first, and then we give them those players.
Yeah,
Um, I would say to me that would on my side that'd be worth
it
it.
won't. It won't. It won't. You know why? You know why
Why?
I say that? because Dotson is one of the younger breakout receivers, man, that can do it all on the field. I wouldn't give up Dotson. I'd give up somebody else. I wouldn't give up Dotson. I wouldn't.
I mean, for me, I would, and you know how I feel about Caleb. I just think he that next guy. He that next generational talent. I very seldom miss on these type of on these situations when I see a quarterback who I think gonna be that guy. I very seldom miss on this type of thing. So what I've seen in Caleb the last 2 seasons, to me, I feel like he's worth whatever they got to give up to get. You can always build and go out. You can sign you got a boatload of money. You can go find a receiver to sign to put him beside Terry McLaurin if you need to. So you go get
Right.
another. So to me, I'm not really receivers in the NFL now. It's kind of like they come a dime a dozen. They come dime a dozen. They come all the time now. It's not like most positions where like quarterback you may miss. Receivers, look at the receiver down in LA. He was like a fourth, fifth round pick, whatever it was. Pacheco, whatever his name. He was a fourth or fifth round pick. I mean, a lot of these guys be late bloomers. Cooper
But
Cup, he's a late
but speaking of both of them. So the thing about receivers when they go to the college is not the power schools. We don't really look at them, but their statistics be so crazy, bro. They be great route runners, great receivers that get separation, man, and they was talking about some cause my sister Rams fan and she be in the Rams groups, and they was just talking about how Cooper Cup said, man, that's one of the best young receivers he ever played with his life. You know what I mean? Like ever.
Mm-hmm.
Like smart, study the game, practice how he run his routes, you know what I mean? Always in the gym before anybody else, always leave the gym last. Like I said, you know what? That's a receiver that's gonna be around for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And and I think that you right. You can't find a good receiver. But at the same time, I think that Terry McLaurin got him under tutelage right now. He's training him. So I think Terry even may have something to say about that he don't want him to leave. You know what I mean? Because they can create like a dynamic duo like Art Monk and Gary Clark.
Yeah,
That's what
yeah.
I can see. You know what I mean? That's what I can see. And I tell people all the time, y'all forget about when Art Monk and Gary Clark was killing people
Yeah.
all the time, all the time.
Well, I think what Chicago would do though, Chicago would counter offer, and I bet you they would ask for Jonathan Allen instead of like a Rahan Dotson. They would ask for, because then they could put Jonathan Allen back there with Montez Sweat. Because if you look, when Montez Sweat went over to Chicago, shit, you thought he was killing it with Washington. He was at a whole nother level with Chicago. So if you put Jonathan Allen over there with him, now you got your defensive line, solid, and you know what I'm saying, and you got, and then you start building off of that. So basically, they may say we want Jonathan Allen instead of Dotson or something like that. So I I would I would think Washington shoot they might come off better doing that, like you said, and then building that offense up first and get that offense all the way going, and then go back and double back and start building back that defense. Or they can. There's a lot of free agent. It's a few free agent edge rushers that's coming out that they might go out and get. I think y'all got a couple of free agents that's edge rushers that we might can sign. I think I seen a couple.
You got Tank Lawrence and you got Armstrong.
Yeah, so we got them. I think it's somebody. It's a few other ones that I see. I got to look at it again, but it's a few other edge rushers that's free agencies this year that we might could go out and get. So I think we could. It's way, like I said, we got the most in the salary cap going into next season out of everybody.
And
So
well, don't be surprised, man, if they don't give Michael the money that he want. If he come over there with Dan Quinn, that's Dan Quinn boy.
like,
Yeah, that's Dan Quinn boy, man, for real, for real.
Y'all franchise Michael before y'all let him walk. See, Jerry Jones will franchise Michael because he petty. So even if he didn't want Michael Parsons after this year, he'll franchise him just so we won't get him. Because remember that he signed Amari Cooper when we was all set to give Amari Cooper that same $20 million. You know what I'm saying? He signed with y'all, and then after that, and then Jerry Jones heard about that, he signed him, and then the next year traded him. You know what I'm saying? After that next year, so it was like he signed him just to keep him away from us, and then basically like I don't really want him and let him go anyway.
He petty then. He petty.
Petty like that. So and he ain't gonna let Michael Parsons go to his arch rival in his division if Markham was to be like, oh nah, I want to go over here, and instead of staying with Dallas. You know what I mean?
Right,
So
right, right. So another thing I want to talk about, man, it's been a lot in the sports media of Atlanta Falcons.
mhm.
And Atlanta Falcons has got their radar on two quarterbacks. And which do you think is a better fit? If you was a GM of Atlanta Falcons, would you want Russell Wilson or would you want Justin Fields?
I would want Justin Fields one because he's younger. He's a little bit more athletic at this career than Russell Wilson. He still got time to get better. Plus, if I was Atlanta, I got my man, well, his name Robinson too in the back. I got was the Drake London, Kyle Pitts. So my offense already set. Just need a solid quarterback. You know what I'm saying? Think about it. They can all grow together. You know what I mean? Running back, he
And
going here.
and I think Justin Fields fit Atlanta. I think he'll set the city back on fire with Atlanta.
Yeah,
You know what
yeah.
I mean?
Black quarterback that they kind of remind you got the same kind of skill set as Michael Vick. You know what I'm saying, or whatever. I think the city that would definitely embrace him. You know what I mean? And I think to me, because he don't gotta be Superman in Atlanta because they got so many weapons. All he got to do is be efficient. You know what I mean? If he efficient, you know what I'm saying, and then it's gonna be hard to stop them offensively because if you got to worry about Drake London and Cal Pitts and running back, and then he coming out the backfield, he running around. Shoot, Atlanta might be one of the best scoring teams in the league next year if they
Yeah.
get.
Yeah, and then they had another blog I seen. Would you asking fans, would you rather take Tannehill or Russell Wilson at Pittsburgh?
Tannehill. I
Yeah.
wouldn't Tannehill to my mama house. No.
Well, I knew you was gonna say that, but that's under Mike was talking about that right there, and they was talking about Mike was talking because the offensive coordinator that um Tannehill won all them games with, he's the offensive coordinator for Pittsburgh now, so that's where that comes in at.
I mean, it's the
But
got. If you look at what you got, then yes, an upgrade in Pittsburgh defense be so thorough. Then if you wanted a proficient quarterback that because Tyler Tannehill, he kind of got the size and probably the profile of like a Ben Roethlisberger. Even arm was way stronger. They kind of built the same, kind of play the same way. You know what I mean, to a certain degree. So if you wanted to kind of like a copycat of that situation, and then I would say Ryan Tannehill over Russell Wilson, but I would still go with Russell Wilson at this point of his. I think that would be a good look for Pittsburgh to get a Russell Wilson. You
I
get a veteran
mean,
quarterback.
you're right though, and the reason I'm gonna tell you you're right. I looked at his numbers the other day, man, when they was talking about him, man. I didn't realize he passed for a little bit under 4,000 yards this year. I ain't realized that, bro.
Who's that?
Russell Wilson. I ain't realized that, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, he passed for like what is 300 3,966 yards. That's just
Mm-hmm.
a little bit under 4,000 yards, man. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And I didn't realize. how good his stats were, and a lot of the commentators have said. I heard, uh, I heard Colin say this, that he really believed that the coach was the problem. It wasn't Russell, because he
Uh,
said he
what?
said you can get
Oh,
you
you
you you you.
heard said this?
You, it was Colin Coward or somebody, man. You
I
can
don't think. I was
no,
gonna say, I
no,
don't think.
no, 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 no. It wasn't Colin. Yeah, I knew it was. It was Dan O. That's who said it.
Who?
Dan O. Cause they was pulling up some clips of some players that play on that team. It's like every time Russell is thriving and making an impact. Cause they had ran out 6 in a row one time,
Mhm.
and they like Russell was playing well, and here comes Sean, man. Messing up the whole program, disrupting the whole team. That's what
Yeah,
they said. You know what I mean?
yeah, because I knew it wasn't Colin Cowherd because that what's called that's his boy. Uh, him and Sean Payton like this. They go out like before Sean Payton got that coaching job. Got the job. They used to go out to dinner every week. You know what I'm saying? That's why Colin Cowherd knew his every move and what he was about to do because they would go out to dinner every week. And he had Sean Payton on the show like, what I'm saying, every week or like every other week to discuss what he's seen from a commentator standpoint or whatever analyst of what he was seeing in the league. And because that's why the whole thing about him kind of not liking Russell Wilson when he got there, he already kind of talked about before he ever got there, he wasn't feeling Russell Wilson. So it's no surprise to most people that why he want to get rid of him because he never
But
really.
but the thing he reminded me of a Bill Belichick, man. You had one of the most predominant quarterbacks in the league, Drew Brees.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see you doing nothing after Drew Brees because I don't see in players that even want to play for you, man. Just because of your attitude. Sean Payton is a diva to me, man.
Yeah.
He's more of a he's more of a diva than the football players, man.
Yeah, you could say that. You could say that. Some coaches be like that. They win one championship and you can't tell them nothing. Like if Kyle Shanahan would have won two of them or won two Super Bowls, oh, you really couldn't have told him nothing. You know what I'm saying? So, so I don't, that's one of them things where I kind of agree with you that he can be. And it's funny because if you watch his movie, when what's his name, my man from King and Queens,
Yeah,
uh, played him in his movie. He kind of showed Sean Payton's arrogance and snobby, how he was, like he was real, like sarcastic and arrogant in that movie. So it's kind of like and I think Sean Payton was like the executive producer on the movie. So he kind of showed that he could be arrogant. He kind of showed he could be a little bit, snobbish or whatever you want to call it. He kind of showed that by letting, what's my man, I can't real name, but allowing him to play him in that particular situation the way he did. So yeah, so I agree with you. Like he may not be that. He may not be who we think he is, and
right, right, right.
he'll get a chance because he got to go back and more like if they get rid of Russell Wilson, if they let him go, then he gonna have to go and get him a quarterback that's gonna help him continue to win games. You know what I mean? Because he can't have a second and third season where they miss the playoffs. You know what I mean?
Right,
Like Sean,
right.
they got it. Cause what was their season they record this year? Because they went from like 5-12 to what, like 9-8 or something, or 8-9.
Yeah, yeah. They was 9-8 this year. They won 9 ball games.
Yeah, so that mean next year they got to win 11, 12 games and at least get to the wild card game. You know what I mean? So
Yeah, but I think this year, man, um the Chargers may have a breakout season this year. Uh
yeah,
the whole dynamic when Harbaugh get there is gonna change. Just because of who he is, do I do I do I think he can change it? I'm sure he can. And the reason why I'm gonna say this, man, based on his daddy, based on his brother, and based on coming from a football family, they're gonna help him with it, bro. You know what I'm saying? And he gonna listen to his dad. He gonna listen to his brother. And so, but he gonna have to play against his brother too, cause they're in the AFC. You know what I mean? So that's gonna be interesting too. But I think that if we get rid of if Jerry let Armstrong or Tank walk, I think Jerry is gonna pick up Bosa from the Chargers. That's what
Mm.
he's shooting for. That's what he's shooting to pick up Bosa from the Chargers. He's shooting to get Bosa and Derrick Henry. So
Mm.
I don't know how this is gonna work because you gotta play Mike and CD Lamb too. So I don't know if Jerry gonna use some of that all money or what, but he be
Well,
coming up.
the Cowboys can do it because the Eagles, I don't know how they was doing it, but the Eagles were signing everybody. You
Yeah,
know?
and the 49ers. And the 49ers.
Yeah, and the 49ers, because I
Speaking
know they
of them,
trading and
yeah.
hey, whatever they did, hey, they made it happen. Hey, so and he's talking about he going all in next year. So to me, if he get Derrick Henry and you say he get Bosa, and that let me know he going all in. So you know what I mean? Like to me, he not hold no prisoners, taking
But
no.
I don't know where the money coming from, man. Cause you got Michael. Pollard gonna walk. We know that. We know Gallup gonna walk. That's that's gonna cut up some money. And I know Stephon Gilmore might be with y'all because Jerry only gave him a 1 year deal. But he said he want to come back to Dallas, but Jerry ain't said nothing about bringing him back. So
He ain't bringing back. He ain't gonna bring nobody back. He ain't gonna pay nobody that ain't part of his heritage. You know what I'm saying? Like no homegrown. He might get a couple players like he did. He got Gilmore for that 1 year, but normally he don't give a personal second contract. It's like if you didn't do what you were supposed to do the first time, like I ain't about to think about it. He ain't even give Dion more money. It wasn't like he was like, oh, Dion did what he supposed to do. That was it. And he let Dion ride. Like, okay. You know what I'm saying? So it ain't like he not known to give outsiders more than that one contract. You know what I
right,
mean? So I'll be, and then think about it. And I read this the other day. So of course y'all got Diggs coming back next year. Then you got Blank, and it was somebody else that y'all had to sign. So I think the other corner was a free agent. So they was like basically it wouldn't make any sense for y'all to sign all three and Gilmore. You know what I mean? It's kind of like basically like it wouldn't make no sense to have four basically top corners. You know what I mean? I think well if that's y'all safety, was he y'all corner, the other one?
safety. Yeah. I know, but Gilmore saved a lot of games this year, bro.
Yeah, yeah. But that's because Trayvon wasn't there. If Trayvon would have been there, you know what I mean, and the Bland would have still emerged the way he did. I ain't gonna say you didn't need Gilmore, but you really wouldn't really need to get Gilmore if you had on there still. You know what I mean? But Gilmore had to play that Trayvon Diggs role this year. So that's kind of like what really saved y'all because y'all happen to have a solid number two that used to be a number one that could play that number one spot again. And Bland kind of played. I don't really think Bland is necessarily a number one. I just think that he got a lot of opportunities to look like a number one because nobody was throwing to Gilmore's side. So they was throwing to his side and he was getting those opportunities. But I don't necessarily know that he's necessarily a number one.
Hmm.
You know what I mean?
Hmm.
It's kind of like
So
boy that used to play in 49ers. What's his name? The one that used to always dance when he would make interceptions. He was never a number one, but he would always make plays. Oh, what was that corner name? Because he used to always dance like a duck and all that and walk
yeah,
around,
I know you're talking about.
do that new. But he always had like another corner on the other side. Even when I think he even went to Denver somewhere at one time, champ, I want to say. But he always played with like a number one corner. But he would always make big interceptions and stuff like that because they would always throw to him because he was never really a number one. So he would get opportunities in the number one, like a true number one shutdown. Not gonna have a lot of interceptions because you never throwing the ball to him. You know what I'm saying? The only reason why Trayvon, I think, in his first few years got so many interceptions because people never didn't respect him as being a number one his first couple of years. So he
Mm-hmm.
like now, I don't think Trayvon will get so many interceptions because people won't respect him as a number one.
Right. Okay, I can dig it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then man, I want to see what Brendan Rice gonna go to, because that was Caleb Williams' number one target in college,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and he's in the draft. So I want to see what Jerry Rice's son gonna go to.
Yeah, yeah, he definitely. Yeah, I definitely watched him. He got the speed like his pops. He might actually be a little fast, to be honest with you. Because Jerry Rice really wasn't known for being the fastest guy. He's probably the greatest, one of the greatest route runners, and just
But but it's a lot of people like Jerry that ain't the fastest, but they got long strides,
Mm-hmm.
and that's why they look so fast, because their strides long. You can tell people that used to run track, man. A lot of them ain't the fastest, but they know how to run. They got great running techniques.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? And I tell people, yeah, Dion's fast, but he know how to run too. He ran track.
yeah,
He
because
got technique.
he going like maybe second, third round, so he might end up in a good situation because they don't got him projected as like a first round pick. So I would say you get a Brendan Rice type receiver, like you said, like you were saying with Washington. You know what I mean? He might be sitting there later on in the second or third round. And if we gave up a Dotson, go get Brendan Rice. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? Got Cowboys if they lose Gallup. Second, third round, later round, go get a Brendan Rice. You know what I mean? Like, you never know. He might be sitting there for one of these teams to go grab that, you know what I mean, that in a later round. He'll Pacheco, for a Rams receiver, whatever. He one of them one of them receivers that tear up the league next year. You know what I
right.
mean? So yeah, so I'm like you. I'm definitely curious. I'm curious a lot of these guys. A Duzier from Oregon. I'm interested where he gonna go. Marvin Harrison, of course. There's a few receivers out there that I'm looking forward to seeing. Okay, Brock Bowers. You know what I mean? I think depending on if he
Who who's in the draft for Miami? Your squad. Who going
uh
to the draft?
got mainly defensive players because most of our players on the offensive end were all um, young receivers and stuff. So I think we got a couple of linebackers, edge rushers, stuff like that. A couple of corners. I would have to
So
look.
ain't none of y'all running backs going to the league?
Nah, cause all our running backs was young. Like we got a running back last year, a freshman, Mark Fletcher. They saying this joker might be the next, like, Derrick Henry, like, or whatever. He's not as big as Derrick Henry, but he's strong and he's super fast. Like, super strong for a freshman. A freshman running back. Like, he'll run your ass over. So he is strong and he not super fast, but strength and just getting in that line and in them trenches. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. He different. He different.
Okay, okay, okay.
So but our running back, I mean, they may, because most of our running backs, I think most of them, a lot of them transferred, but because most of our running backs got hurt this year too. Like, so that's the reason why they had to throw him in there so early, because they was kind of putting him in there, like sprinkling him in there a little bit here and there. But then our top running backs got hurt, and they had to put him there full time. And when they did, was the best about all the stuff that we did right this year. Oh yeah, getting him out there was hell.
Okay, so three quarterbacks I'm gonna ask you about. Um, Texas quarterback, Oregon quarterback, and Alabama quarterback. Do you expect all of them to enter the draft? I expect Bo Nix to enter the draft, but
Oh,
do you expect Alabama and Texas quarterback to enter the draft?
Alabama, he not eligible yet.
He's a junior.
Nah, he a sophomore.
Oh, he is? Okay.
Yeah, and Milton, really, to be honest with you, if Milton in the draft now, he would go fifth, sixth round because he not ready. He came on a little bit late on in the season, but then he got exposed. Kind of, I feel like in the Auburn game, he got exposed a little bit. In the Final Four a little bit. So I think he definitely need another year to show if he can do something. He definitely not ready for the NFL.
Okay,
Uh,
okay, okay. So,
it's
so
real.
is Texas quarterback a junior or senior?
He definitely. I think he's leaving. Cause that's who? That's what's their quarterback?
I
'Cause
forgot his name.
I think I think he's about ready to leave because old boy behind him. I think Archie Manning gonna be starting next year.
Okay.
I think Archie gonna be starting next year. I think the Texas quarterback, Eckler. Is it not Eckler? Dang, how you
Yeah,
pronounce
yeah,
it?
yeah, yeah. I think that's his last name.
Yeah. So I think he's in an NFL draft, but I got him being a first round pick. I know Bo Nix, he's possibly mid first round, early second. You know what I'm saying? Maybe, you know what I'm saying? He'll probably fall between mid first, early second round pick as far as a quarterback. That's like with him and Penix. Penix in the same boat. He might go as high as in the top 10 and may go as, fall to the bottom or the second round, depending on who wants quarterbacks, who need quarterbacks by that time. You know what I mean? Because I think, to me, I would pick Michael Penix over everybody but Caleb Williams. That's me. But but they don't got him. They don't got him going that high. But to me,
Yeah,
that's
they
what.
got they got they got the cat from LSU going higher than Michael Penix.
Yeah, because they saying Drake May's supposed to be the comp to like Justin Herbert. That's what they saying Drake May's supposed to be. So I
I
don't
don't know. I don't know about it. I don't see that.
know.
But anyway, I mean, I ain't no huge Justin Herbert fan, but Justin Herbert got good quarterback play. It's just was something about the team that they can get it done. But he is gonna be one of the top 5 young quarterbacks in the league for a long time. I'm gonna go and give him his props. He gonna
Well,
be one of them top 5 for a long time.
you gonna see because he got a real coach now. So we about to see if it's the coach or if it's him. You know what I'm saying? Because if he don't show up, if the Chargers don't make the playoffs next year, then we know it's kind of Justin Herbert. Because the thing about Justin Herbert, what he don't do is he don't win big games in the fourth. It was a lot of games where they had a lot of one-score games where they be down by 3-4 points, and he show up. He show up smaller than Kirk Cousins. He be looking like third Cousins out there time.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, he got to win some of them games next year if they in close battles.
This is true. And so, what do you think that the running back from Clemson is going to go?
Oh, you talking about the white boy?
Yeah.
Uh, oh, uh, shoot, cause he got power runner. Even though he got some speed on him, he would actually be good with y'all. To be honest with you, y'all need a running back like that. Go, you know what I'm saying? If I was y'all, cause he probably not gonna go to about the fourth or fifth round, third or fourth, maybe third.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
if I was
Yeah.
y'all,
I think.
I'd get him.
Yeah. I think he shifty. He's speedy, and he can catch the ball out the backfield real good. So you
Yeah,
know what I mean?
y'all can use him as y'all running back, especially if y'all lose Pollard. Then you know what I'm saying, or if y'all sign Pollard back, y'all could still get him because he could be y'all more of y'all every down back and put Pollard back to being y'all third down back or y'all
Right.
slot back or whatever. So
Yeah.
if I was y'all, I would definitely be trying to get him, in one of those later rounds or whatever.
What do you think? What do you think Florida State quarterback going?
Jordan Travis. Cause they ain't really talk much about him. That's crazy. They ain't really talk because I'm like, is he even coming out? Because they ain't even talk much about him.
I think he made, man, but cause he transferred from another school, so I don't know if his eligibility up or what, but he transferred from another school.
Yeah, because I'm like, I think he is, because I think he's supposed to be coming out, but they don't even got him. I think they probably shoot, because if he was to go like later on, he would probably he might go in as like a backup quarterback, or he could be good something like a Pittsburgh or something. Especially if Pittsburgh went and got like Russell Wilson, he would be good to kind of groom himself and,
Uh-huh.
and learn behind a quarterback like that. You know what I'm saying? Like he would be good to go to a team that got like a quarterback that's kind of like on their way out, but still solid enough where he can learn from.
I
And,
know Mike McCarthy wanted to interview Eric Bieniemy.
oh, really?
Yeah.
Mm, okay, okay.
Mike
Yeah,
McCarty don't like running the offense, bro. He don't like that.
yeah. You know, one thing with with Eric Bieniemy, I think when he dropped a little bit is I think he didn't run the ball enough. Because to me, if you got the worst offensive line in the NFL, a quarterback that's erratic, he shouldn't have been throwing. He should have had 5,000 yards, 4,000 something miles. He shouldn't have had that many yards.
Almost 5,000. You're right.
Yeah, he shouldn't have had that many yards. If he that erratic, you got two solid running backs. I think he should have ran the ball a little bit more. I think Eric Bieniemy was so pressed to try to show everybody that he could be just as dynamic with this team as he was with Mahomes, that he threw the ball too much. You know what I mean? And then you put when he throwing interceptions and pumping the ball left and right. What are you doing? You're exposing your defense. Now your defense on the field too much. Now they tired. They not. That's why I think they fell off a little bit because they're on the field all the doggone time. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I think all that go hand in hand.
Yeah, but it's gonna be interesting to see who pick him up though.
Yeah. We'll see. I hope he lands somewhere because I kind of feel bad for him.
I know. Antonio Pierce want to interview him too.
Yeah. You bet on yourself. I think I always like a person when they bet on themselves. And Eric Bieniemy, he kind of lost in this. I hope he. Only person I thought was crazy stuff like that was Dennis Schroeder. You know what I'm saying? Well, I was like, bro, you done gave up a lot of money, and you ain't that. You know what I'm saying? That's the only person that was kind of crazy the way he bet on himself. But other than that, most situations I'm for.
Word, okay then. All right, well, man, shoot, that's all I got, bro. It's been a great conversation this morning.
Sure, yes, sir. So shout out the Village Global Network. Like you said, upcoming, man. We got an app, we got a website coming. Shout out to Sam Pugh and Chosen One TV. We'll be back on Roku and Apple TV real soon here, probably in the next 2-3 weeks. So we'll be back in action with that. So we got, we gonna be out here moving and grooving this spring. So if you see us, you see 95 South, you see 910 Sports somewhere, please holler at us, man. You know what I'm saying? Let you know that people come with us all the time and say they know who we are or whatever. And we sometimes we be surprised, like, for real, like, word, okay, that's what's up. So definitely holler at us, man, if you see us somewhere out and about. I try to keep a hat or a shirt on. So if I do bump into people that know me or know us or whatever, you know what I mean, or whatever. So that's kind of how I do, especially when I used to fly all the time. Definitely try to keep something on, you know what I mean, or whatever the people, if they recognize, have a conversation. But anyway, man, it was a great show. And see y'all on the next night. Coming up 95 South. It could be 910 Hell. Me and Jacob own thing. So we flip flop. We do it how we want to do it. You know what I'm saying?
That's
So
right.
it is what it is. So anyway, man, shout out to Tiffany Real. You stay safe out there because you be moving like I be moving and be all over the place and enjoying life. So definitely keep yourself, be safe out there or whatever. And T-Dub Entertainment, shout out. And whatever our other affiliate station. So anyway, y'all can follow us up on 910 Sports Entertainment Network, our YouTube channel. If you want to book us or whatever for this one, hit us up Icon-y at 910 Sports. Icon-y 910 Sports at gmail.com if you want to book us for something or whatever. So you can hit us up directly there. But anyway, we out. See y'all on the next one.
Peace.
People seen it, but they just don't know.
What I told you, Cutter.
People seen it, but they just don't know. People seen it, but they just don't know.
Huh?
People.
Let's go.
People